guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm doing a bit more of a serious topic. I am doing a video response to Tessa Violets' video, which was my depression and creativity. The reason I'm doing this is because I actually have a lot to say on the topic, because I have been depressed for maybe 2 years now, and it has greatly impacted me because I'm a creative person. I'm a graphic designer by trade. I love photography as my hobby, and now I'm into video making, and I illustrate almost every day. So when I got depressed, it was a big roadblock for me. So my creativity and my depression went through stages. At first, when I was depressed, I didn't realize it. I thought I was just very lonely, and I thought that I was fine. I thought, oh, I'm just sad because I can't see my boyfriend every day because he was overseas. Long story. I thought that I was just sad because I was struggling with my personal life. But I was like, okay, I'm sad. I'm going to use my creativity as a distraction. And at that stage, I was doing university as a graphic designer, and I was also applying for internships as a graphic designer. So I ended up taking it to the extreme where I would spend 3 hours sleeping and the rest of the time awake. I ended up getting 2 graphic design internships, and I was doing full-time university for graphic design, and if I wasn't at work designing, I'd be at home designing, and I was just like blitzing through everything and going absolutely mental over it, literally, to the point where I had a breakdown and had to go to hospital. So my first stage of my depression and creativity was actually using my creativity as a distraction. So instead of facing my depression and working through it, I kind of just went, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. And I must admit, it was not my best work. Like, I got stuff done, but I could have done it a lot better. I could have experimented more. I could have pushed myself further in those projects, but I was just doing it like, no, just get it done. No, just get it done. No, just get it done. And that was all before I knew I actually had depression. And then when it hit me that I had depression, I all of a sudden couldn't create anything. So I went through probably a good year where I didn't draw. And for me, that is massive because I would draw every day. It was just something I did for fun. So I would sit at my sketchbook with a pencil and not be able to do anything. And I put it down to, oh, I'm just so busy with all the work I have to do, but really it was just I couldn't physically create that because drawing is love and happiness, and I didn't feel like love or happiness. I only felt sadness and loneliness. So that was really hard for me. But then there would be a day every now and then where I would draw. And I would think to myself, oh, I'm cured. I'm not depressed because my drawing is back. It's fabulous. And I saw my depression not as a roller coaster of emotion like depression really is, but I saw it as just like, if I'm here, I'm depressed. If I'm here, I am perfectly normal. I'm a normal human being. And I couldn't bring myself to see that, no, this whole time being happy and sad, I was actually depressed. I just didn't see it. So a few good points that I saw in Tessa's video was when she was talking about labels and labeling yourself as an artist and being like, if I can't make, then who am I? Because artists make, they create, and if I can't make, then what's my purpose? And I very much felt that when I couldn't draw. Because when I couldn't draw, I couldn't do design well, even though I still did it as my 9 to 5. It felt like nothing. It felt like it didn't have me in it at all. And I very much stuck to that label. I'm like, well, I'm a designer who can't design. With everything else that's going on in my life, what's the point anymore? What's the point? And I would actually spend every night breaking down in my bed. And my boyfriend slash fiance slash husband through this entire period would have to comfort me every night because I just wasn't coping anymore. I didn't know who I was anymore because I stuck so strongly to that label, and then I couldn't do it. My brain stopped working, I felt like. So that's one thing which I would recommend too, is don't put a label on it. You be you, you don't be what you make. What you make is something which comes out of you. But it doesn't matter if you're sad, it doesn't matter if you're happy, it doesn't matter if it's not working for a whole year, it's still there. It's just you can't access it because you have other things that you have to deal with. Like I like to say, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. It's the same where you have to take care of yourself before you can give yourself. And as for me, art and design and music and anything, any creative field is giving yourself. And you can't do that if yourself isn't complete. So that's one thing I would recommend, is take care of yourself. Go to therapy, do what you need to you can't just get rid of your depression, but to quell your depression and then create again, and it will really help. One thing I did too to get back on the horse of creativity is when I couldn't draw, I was really saddened, and I ended up buying an iPad Pro so I could try and start drawing again, try and be like, okay, fresh medium, I've not really drawn on the iPad before, and see how it goes. And it kind of brought me back to life because it was something new and I was learning something new. And even then I was like, I couldn't draw from my imagination, but I found that with drawing, I was like, okay, I'll draw from reference, I'll draw people, because I like portraiture. And it brought me back because I was drawing again, and for me, I was good. I was better than I had been in what felt like forever. And it was just going from the reference, and kind of, it was like baby steps of creativity, and it helped me get past that big roadblock which had been put up from my depression. And this roadblock I talk about, it wasn't just that I was depressed, I couldn't create. It was I was depressed and it stunted my creation. And then because I was depressed and I could see that I wasn't creating, I had anxiety. I'm like, this isn't stopping. And I kind of used my anxiety and built this wall bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where I just couldn't create at all because I was just so anxious about it. And I remember it's like, if I can't get anything, that means I'm just sick, that means I'm just a weak human being, when really it wasn't that at all. It was just that I'd built up in my head that, as Tessa had said, I'm an artist who can't create. What am I? Who am I? So with my depression, I ended up going and getting some help. I went to a psychologist, and I ended up going on antidepressants, and it slowly brought me back to me. When I was depressed, I was a very pessimistic person. If I was trying to be my friend, I would hate me. But now I've turned back to the optimistic person I used to be. I'm in control of my emotions, I'm in control of my thoughts, and more important, I'm back in control of my creativity. And I just think that it's just a part of life which you have to go through. There's going to be parts in your life where your creativity just stops, or you don't have any inspiration, or you get injured. Like if I had my hand injured, I couldn't really draw with it, now can I? And you just have to be able to go through it and have the confidence to know that you are good at what you do, you love what you do, and you will get back to where you were. And that's one thing I was missing. But if you're a creative and you're depressed currently, all I can say to you is don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop doing what you do. Don't give up. I've seen people give up and they were amazing, amazing artists, but they just couldn't face their depression anymore. They couldn't deal with not being the creative they'd labeled themselves to be. They just push through it, and I promise you that it will get better, and you will start creating again, and you will be the person you want to be, and the person who you were before your depression or your anxiety or just your sadness hit. When I was depressed, I tried many ways to try and kickstart my creativity again. As I said, I bought the iPad, and I started drawing on that, and I did reference drawing, and that was really great. But I also did things like tried to schedule drawing into my life. I tried to schedule half an hour every day, and that could work for some people. I think it's Pomodoro method, but it didn't work for me because it just made me more stressed, because I'm like, I have to do this, I've got a schedule, I have half an hour to create something, and I'd sit there in front of a sketchbook and not do anything. Another thing I tried to do was make myself lots of projects, because with me, the more projects I have to do, I'll kind of like rush through and get through them so I can get them all done. And the biggest of these projects was making a children's book, which I have yet to create. I wanted to do a children's book being a metaphor for depression and what it feels like and how you cope with it. So children who don't understand what's going through have kind of a little role model, a little idea of how to cope with it. And I had the idea of the beginning of how this kid felt. And I had the idea of the end, where he feels a lot better and he has friends and community around him. But being depressed and not knowing how to get out of it, I didn't know what I was going to put in the middle of the story. It was just like a major roadblock. And having this big idea of something I wanted to do and not being able to complete it because of my depression, when it was about my depression, was probably the worst thing. So this project was me pretty much trying to use my depression to be creative. It didn't work. And that little boy in this story still doesn't have his whole story complete, because I am yet to figure out the simple answer of how to get from A, which is sadness, to B, which is happiness. And I'm not sure whether he ever will have a finished story. But all I can say is don't put pressure on yourself. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to finish it. If it comes to me, like his beginning and ended, then it comes to me. But I'm not going to push myself to be creative anymore when I'm sad. I'm going to let it come to me. And like right now, I can be creative every single day because of it. So I hope this video made some sense to you guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and I'll do more videos like this. I just want to give a shout out to Tessa Violet. I think she's a really great YouTuber, and although she probably doesn't need my recommendation, I would definitely check her out because she talks a lot about her feelings and depression along with her creativity, and she has some fabulous music which I find very inspirational to draw and design to. So definitely check her out. If you guys want, please subscribe to this channel, and if you want to see more of my work, just head to my Instagram or my Threadless account where I have t-shirts. And Tessa, if you're watching, thank you so much for watching my video. You inspire me and you keep me strong, and you really helped me during my depression, which is still happening, I guess. I'm just in more control. So thank you for your videos, thank you for being a dedicated vlogger, and I hope to watch more of your videos in the future. So bye everybody.